Excellent, very good. I'm always worried when I come up on a platform and there's an inhaler behind there with what's going to be asked of me. But we'll do the best we can with it and try to survive the panel. So, as mentioned, I run the Bluetooth Special Interest Group. We're an industry organization that creates a lot of the technology behind these products that you've been seeing today. And I very much believe in what the other panelists have been speaking about, that it is this connectivity that is going to continue to drive these, and to have a standardized way to do this is really going to improve the markets. And the Bluetooth SIG, the group that I run, we don't actually create any of these products. It's one of our 13,000 members that does. So, for example, the Wii Fit or those devices use Bluetooth to communicate with the Wii, as does the Sony PlayStation Move, and those products all implement Bluetooth. So while everyone's familiar with Bluetooth in the car, the hands-free driving that was mentioned, we actually are in a lot of other types of devices as well, and we're going to continue, to expand upon that. So, we're in video games now, even if you didn't quite realize that. And we're moving into a lot of other types of products as well, because it's very appealing to the manufacturer of these to be able to, not only use those products, say, when you're in front of the PlayStation, but also to be able to collect that information while you're out running and doing the exercising, and to not be able to, have to plug in a USB dongle or something else, to be able to use the technology that's already integrated into the phone or the iPad or whatever device. And Bluetooth is that technology. And I think really what this really helps to drive is awareness. And I older than anyone else on the panel, but in my younger days, apparently, unlike U.S. senators, if you were at the session earlier, I actually enjoyed sports in high school and physical education and that. And I guess in your mind, you start thinking, well, I'm still that active. I still shoot hoops. I still golf once or twice a week and things like that. I'm not sure how I'm putting on these extra pounds. I'm still doing all of that. And then, that's kind of what your mind was saying to us. And 2 years ago, we had a fitness challenge at the Bluetooth SIG. But the first year's one was kind of all manual, and you had to enter the information in and stuff. And so I got bored with it within a week, or I went on a trip and fell behind and stuff and never picked up on it. So that didn't work out well, so I still had a pretty good opinion of myself. But in this year's fitness challenge, we actually used the ActiHealth pedometer, and I still have it on my foot. And so with this, there's no cheating. And I was appalled at how limited my activity was. And when I thought about it, well, the last time I actually did play basketball was the 5th grade challenge of parents at my daughter's basketball team. She's an 8th grader now. And after I played basketball that day, I could walk for 2 days afterwards. So, I didn't do that anymore. Last year, I think I ended up golfing 6 times, and most of them were when I was on vacation, so I rode in a cart. So, when all of a sudden the information is in front of you on the computer every day, you can't really kid yourself anymore. And it was a very rude awakening, to say the least. But as good as this product is, the ActiHealth, it communicates only with the computer, and you have to plug a USB dongle into that. And part of our challenge at work is you have to hit 5,000 steps a day, every day. It wasn't an average. You have to get to that number, and then there'd be weekly drawings and stuff. And as the fitness people up here will tell you, 5,000 steps a day isn't a very high bar. It's pretty low. And I traveled a lot with my job, and I'd think I'd hit my 5,000 steps, but I wasn't at my computer. And then I'd get home, and one day I had like 4,980, and I was so upset, because if I just would have known I needed 20 more steps, I could have walked around the house. And so, as I guess all organizations are, we like a good competition. So this year we're having a blogger competition here to see what blogger at CES gets the most steps. And we're using an armband that Body Media makes, and it now uses Bluetooth. And so I can track live, on my phone, the number of steps. We'll show the app up there because you can't see it in my hand. But so now I can get the information live as I'm doing it. I don't have to go back to my computer to sync up, and it just makes it that much more valuable to me because I can see how I'm doing. And with that constant feedback loop, I know when I'm not active, and it'll get me up and going. And if a year ago you would have told me that wearing a pedometer would actually change my lifestyle and change what I do because I'm stubborn enough that, by God, I'm going to get 5,000 steps every day, I wouldn't have believed you. But sure enough, just having that information in front of me, and I did do more than 0 steps on Christmas, but I didn't do that many on Christmas. But having that information in front of you really transforms behavior. And I think what Bluetooth is going to bring to the table is a wireless interface that allows you to use these cool devices, like the 8-bit ones, but not just with that PlayStation, but also, you could look at it on the iPad if you're away from that, if you're traveling, or on your mobile phone, and collect all that information from a wide range of products so that you really can do it anywhere, anytime, whenever you want. And it does take, a standardized royalty-free technology like Bluetooth to really fulfill that vision. And that's what I'm excited about that we're doing, this year and next year, and driving it forward. So thank you.
Do we have All right, so we don't actually have our third panelist with us, but that means you guys can bust out the questions if you have any for the group here. If you guys want to line up down here, I think I can probably get you some microphone action. There we go. How many steps is this?
If anybody else has any questions, just start lining up so we can expedite the process.
Just directly from Bluetooth. At the moment, it's fairly low power, or the sensors which we need have a very high power. Excuse me, the sensors we need have a fairly high power. They have to have maybe 100 Hertz data rate to be able to get body movement information off. And what we see with existing sensor technologies, you get about 2.5 hour, 3 hour lifetime when you're doing continuous transmission on Bluetooth. How is the Bluetooth SIG planning on improving that technology so that we can make a next step, maybe Bluetooth 3 or something like that?
It's actually Bluetooth 4 that addresses that very issue. The last June, we published version 4 of the specification, and its key feature was what we call low energy Bluetooth technology. And that is a highly optimized version that is targeted for these sensor devices. And the initial silicon that's come out has even far exceeded our design requirements, which was you needed to be able to run one of these sensor type devices, whether it's a pedometer, a heart rate meter, whatever, for a year on a button cell battery. Because if you think of a pedometer, or a lot of these type of devices, a lot of times they're enclosed plastic, so you want them disposable and not to change the battery. And this version of the spec, the early silicon, has far exceeded that. People are able to get multiple years of usage out of these. And the drop-in for the phone that allows that type of device to work with your traditional Bluetooth devices as well as these low-energy sensors is the design is such that it's really just a chip replacement. All the RF on it is the same, so it's very easy for the manufacturers to create the dual mode products, which are the phones, the PCs, the tablets, and the like. So I very much expect we'll start seeing those the middle of this year, and the single mode peripherals, about the same time. So you're going to see a pretty large ecosystem built around this because everyone wants to be able to communicate with those network attached devices, to push your sensor information up to the back end websites.